What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another breakdown video from a game from the B-Dubs Bowl 2 tournament. This time we got Drag versus Young Kiv. Now, these are two players. They're kind of in the middle of the standings, but these are guys who were at the Madden 17 championship tournament, did make the final 32. Obviously, Kiv basically was at almost every big tournament throughout the year. Drag got into the final 32 for the Madden 17 championship and made a little bit of noise there, but these are two very good players, and I don't think I've ever done a breakdown game on Drag before, and it's been a while since I did one on Kiv, so I figured this would be a good one to go ahead and do. So jumping right into it, you got Kiv on offense, Titans uniforms, Drag on defense with the Bears, and Kiv starts off with the ball, 1st and 10, looks like single back deuce close here, so goes with the HB wham, Drag blows it up in the backfield, and Kiv actually ends up losing a yard there. So cover 4 from Drag, nickel normal. Kiv on offense, let's see, deuce close and gun bunch. I would guess it's probably going to be Tennessee playbook. That is a playbook that jumps into my mind that has gun bunch and deuce close. They also have, trips tight end, gun tight flex, stuff like that. So we'll see if Kiv comes out in that. Looks like Kiv is running a 2 tight end set now on offense. With this is salary cap, so he's got Dallas Clark out here along with Tyler Eifert right here. And so once again, this was broadcast on Twitch, so whenever I pause it, it does get darker, but like I said in my past videos, I'll do my best to illustrate over that. So that indicates to me that maybe Kiv wants to go with some more 2 tight end sets. That Dallas Clark item is so good, it's pretty much a wide receiver out there. And so I think smart personnel move from Kiv here. As I said, nickel on defense from Drag. Looks like typical setup, flipped, pressed, and a linebacker shifted opposite side of that nickel back. So you got the nickel back right here, a linebacker shifted over here, dual edge pressure look, potentially. Lonnie Ballantyne, the user for Drag, looks like possibly corner strike right there for Kiv. And yeah, so corner strike throws that really late. Actually should have been an interception right there. Drag had the right defense set up, goes hard flat as well as a cloud flat out here. Now Kiv goes with the common setup with just a flood, flat route, corner route. Kiv actually throws that really late. Looks like he could have thrown this in route immediately. Also looks like he had the outside leverage on the table route. I think this is Drag's user right here. He's trying to shoot out to that table route. So Kiv could have done better by reading the other side of the field right here. Looks like Kiv tunneled a little bit, and pretty fortunate that that wasn't picked off, and very fortunate that Dez Bryant actually caught it and held on to it. So some maybe early jitters from Kiv, going to shake it out of his system, I'm sure. Right here, gun tight flex. So this confirms it is the Tennessee Titans playbook on offense for Young Kiv. As soon as you see this gun tight flex, you got to be aware of, I made a video on this exact play. PA post shot, this route that Dez Bryant's going to run across the field. Very, very tough to stop. Basically, it's open against every zone. You almost have to user it. And so it's definitely one of the better routes in the game. I think it is the best route in the game. So right here, that's exactly what it goes to. Great user by Drag. That was a phenomenal user by Drag right here. So he sees the route. This is the deep crosser coming across the field by Dez Bryant right here. Now he's got this backside. It looks like an in route underneath to Dez Bryant, leaking out in the flat right here with the tight end. Looks like he's covered. Kiv goes with the playmaker up the field. You see Drag dropping back, knows he's got a user that deep crossing route. Drag sees the playmaker, peels off, pulls onto the playmaker. Kiv has to throw that deep crossing route too late, and by the time he throws it, the receiver runs himself out of bounds. So fantastic user by Drag on that play. You literally can't play it any better than what he just did right there. So 2nd and 10, Kiv back end gun bunch, goes Z spot this time, hits the out route to Dallas Clark and picks up the 1st down. So right here, easy read for Young Kiv. Isolate the flat zone, read him. He drops back to take away the corner route, and you hit the out route. Classic, probably the most popular route combo by far this year, I would say. And picks up 10 yards right there. So gun bunch to the left, gun bunch to the wide side. If you're Drag, you got to be expecting that flat route, corner route combo. He did a good job defending it on the first play. Right here, Kiv goes back to it. Instead, tries to go with the high point on the right side. So Kiv had the right idea here. He went table route out the backfield and then fade down the sideline. The flat route doesn't run with the fade. far enough. Kiv patiently waits for the fade to get past the flat route, or the flat zone defender rather, goes for that high point. You try to high point it to the outside towards the sideline away from that deep safety, but unfortunately Cam Newton sails it out of bounds right there. So that is tough. If you can get an accurate throw on that high point, it's very difficult to stop, but at the same time, it is kind of risky to throw that high point because of the ability for the quarterback to overthrow it, as we get a dancing taco on the screen as Drag's follow emote. But looks like Kiv went, I mean, you can kind of see the route combo right here. Looks like corner strike. Drag this time went with a hard flat, and Kiv easily hits the C route behind it for a pickup of about 15. So Kiv really working the sidelines early on in this game. Comes back out, single back deuce close, audibles into single back ace twins. Drag still in nickel blitz 2 setup here. Kiv doing some hot routes, goes HB dive, and actually picks up 1, it looks like, maybe, or 0. So 2nd and 10. Kiv having a little trouble, or I'm not going to say trouble, but Drag shut down his under center running game thus far. Kiv now wide trips to the left, goes PA post cross shot, Drag all over it, and Kiv has to throw it away. So this is a play that Dubby made popular. It's a play that kind of caught on as the year went on, but now at this point, everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows that it's definitely a play to watch out for out of this wide trips, but that deep crossing route, everybody knows to drop back, user it. Drag does a great job using it. Kiv, unfortunately, got to playmaker this guy. I think he wanted to playmaker this guy right here, because if Kiv was able to playmaker this guy, he was on an in route, he could have playmakered him upfield right here and just instantly threw it outside pass lead. Drag's users right here. There's no way he would have been able to get back to that route. So unfortunate there that Kiv got tight end on the playmaker option, and so he ended up being forced to throw the ball away right there. But good recognition by Drag, knowing where he had to be. So 3rd and 10. Gun bunch to the left, goes with the flat route corner route combo, and Drag once again doesn't have he had, so there's levels to it, right? So he looks like he definitely had the hard flat, and this guy looks like he's in a cloud flat, but because of the pre-snap alignment, because of Drag's guy being so far outside already, this guy in a cloud flat, he's just gonna, he started off, right here, and he's just gonna sink back. Now, this corner route right here that Kiv's running, yeah, this corner route's going to reach him eventually. He's going to run, and, eventually the cloud flat's going to guard him. But for the first, as soon as he cuts in, for the few steps after that, there's nobody on him, because this guy's shooting into the hard flat to cover the flat route. Really what needs to happen is Drag's flat defenders need to be reversed, right? This guy needs to be in a hard flat and clamp down. This guy right here needs to be the one who's sinking back, into the cloud flat. If this guy was sinking into the cloud flat, he'd have a much better angle to try and at least muddy up this read. Kiv might still be able to squeeze it in, but because of Drag's alignment pre-snap and who he had in that cloud flat, that's an easy read right there for Kiv. Low pass lead, pick up 15 yards. So pre-snap alignment, super, 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 super important when defending against these, compressed sets, these corner routes out of these compressed sets. It's right here. Kiv, gun bunch right, goes with another and ends up having to throw it away. Pressure gets in right there from Drag, screaming. Looks like Kiv went with an interesting little combo. He looks like a table route and maybe a comeback route right here. Kind of a mix-up on the normal C route that you normally see. Or it wasn't even a table route. It was just a weird little hitch route out the backfield. Titan bunch. Okay, so Kiv went with a little mix-up, try and catch Drag off guard, and the pressure came screaming in from Drag. So Kiv going into gun bunch tight end. Now, you got to know, if you're Drag, Kiv audibling into gun bunch tight end, the quick audibles out of gun bunch tight end. Now, granted, Kiv could have come out in gun bunch tight end, gun trips tight end. Okay, Kiv could have come out in gun trips tight end, audible to gun bunch, and then audible back to gun trips tight end. But the more likely scenario is he just audibled straight into gun trips tight end, which means you got to know the quick audibles out of that formation. You have to know it's inside zone, PA boot shot, verticals, and then I think the quick pass is, slants or something like that. So you have to know that. You have to know the only passing play you really have to worry about here is PA boot shot, and the only run play you have to really worry about is inside zone. So let's see what he goes with. Kiv motion over, So this would scream to me PA boot shot, and that's exactly what it looks like right there. In that tight end route, very tough. Did he drag his feet? Okay, so Kiv ends up squeezing this in. He actually had this route wide open as well over the middle of the field, but obviously that tight end also wide open. That route going to have a lot of trouble guarding that route with any zone coverage. It's like a lot of deep corner routes. It gets behind those cloud flats and curl flats and seam flats. Nothing drops back deep enough to stop it, but it cuts in front of those deep zones, and you're able to cut off the ball. And so it makes it very tough to guard out of any zone coverage. So right here, nice read by Kiv, dragging his feet and gets down to the 4-yard line. So if you're drag, I know drag runs a lot of gun trips tight end. So I mean that's his formation. So I would definitely expect drag to catch on to that very quickly, catch on to those tendencies, and make the proper adjustments to slow that down. So right here, Kiv at the 4-yard line. First and goal, I-twin tight end left, flips it, goes right. If you're drag, I'd be expecting a power O here probably. I mean, you're in nickel, power O, and guy shoots the gap, and Kiv actually ends up losing a yard. So good run D right there out of nickel by drag. Cover 4. So that cover 4, you might say, oh, nickel personnel, you're not going to stop it. And actually, it's actually dime personnel, because what everybody does is they use the package at a nickel normal that puts a strong safety at outside linebacker. So you're actually playing with 6 defensive backs in nickel. So you're actually in dime personnel out of these nickel formations. And, I mean, it still does a great job stopping the run, especially in MUT, because of these players like, I mean, Night Train Lane, Mel Blunt, Cam Chancellor, just big physical defensive backs who are essentially linebackers that can both, stop the run, be physical, shed blocks, but also drop back into pass coverage and, make plays in the passing game. Just so versatile. But that cover 4, that just shows the power of cover 4, how good it is as a run stopping play right there. Corner route, high point, back of the end zone, touchdown. So drag goes to a cover 2 look right here, and maybe cover 4 would have been a little better served, but as you can see, cover 2, the safeties just widen out a little bit too much here. He widens out, and this one actually doesn't widen out enough. It looks like Kiv actually could have thrown this one right here. Might have had a little bit easier of a time hauling that side in. But either way, both were open, and that's something, I mean, single back deuce close, very tough formation to stop in the red zone, because you got to worry about the stretch, you got to worry about the wham, you have to worry about it has post routes on either side. It's symmetrical, so your opponent can easily flip the play without you even knowing. You have to worry about the corner routes, so definitely one of the best red zone formations in the game, in my opinion. So drag going to try and answer here down 7-0 as we see more dancing tacos. But like I said earlier, drag going to come out trips tight end. Loves this trips tight end formation. Very proficient out of it. And it's pretty cool to see, someone base their offense around a formation that pretty much isn't like, gun bunch or gun tight offset tight end or something like that. So right there, it looks like nice dot on the sideline. Looks like maybe PA slot corner. No, it wasn't even PA slot corner, I don't think. It looked like just something with a corner out. Might have been Z spot, but he had multiple guys open right here. He could have instantly thrown this seam route right here. He could have high pointed it. Didn't even have to high point it. But goes with the dot on the outside. Knows his limitations. Like I said earlier, this is a formation he's been running pretty much the entire year. Yeah, X spot. So he definitely knows where he can fit in passes, where he can thread the needle at. Very tough to stop, and that's what you see when you run into guys who run kind of unconventional offenses. Yeah, it might be kind of unconventional, and in the grand scheme of things, it might not be as good as something like gun bunch or gun type flex, but they run this offense for a reason. They know it like the back of their hand, and they know exactly their limitations in it. So on defense right here, I do want to touch on Kiv looking like he's coming out in a 3-4. Might be a little bit of a throwback to that 3-4 odd, 3-4 even pressure that was really popular over the middle of the year, where you shift your line to the right, crash him right, and blitz this linebacker, and this guy comes in free off the edge. You have some crash like this, and it's usually a 3-man rush. You can drop this guy into like a spy or something. So maybe a little bit of throwback to the 3-4 odd heat right here from Kiv. Motion over, same guy for drag here, Randy Moss. Inside zone, so same look, same pre-snap look, same motion, and 2 different plays. So I like the window dressing by drag right there. Picks up 9 with Todd Gurley. So now it looks like he's going to motion Des Bryant. So he motioned Moss before, motioned Des Bryant this time. Inside zone, Kiv, good defense, sheds a block, but Drag still able to pick up the first down. So 1st and 10. Kiv still in this 3-4 look. Now Drag motioning Herman more. So Drag motioned each receiver from the left over to the right. And each receiver that he motions, you have to worry about kind of something different, because each one could be on their own unique route. Right here, out of something like, PA boot shot, this receiver is going to run. He has the ability to run a quick, almost like a slant out, really quick flat route. On PA boot shot, if you motion Moss over, he's running a deep post. So the deep post becomes, a deep corner route right there. Des Bryant, it could be multiple things. PA slot corner, he's running a post route, but whenever it comes on this side, it becomes a corner route. So you can run a pseudo bench concept on the right side. So different receivers being motioned, you have to worry about different things. Like I said earlier, Drag very good at window dressing right there. He actually blocks the receiver to pick up some pressure. And it looks like he went with PA boot shot right there as the dancing taco comes back. But as you can see, he squeezes it in to Jeff Cumberland right there, that deep corner route. And as you see in the previous play, PA boot shot was the play call. That deep corner route, very tough to stop with only a zone coverage. You pretty much have to user it or man it up. Right here, Drag actually goes into gun bunch. I'm not 100% sure what playbook he's in. There's a lot of playbooks with trips tight end and gun bunch. One that pops in my mind is right there as he runs HP mid draw is the Tennessee Titans. So it could be Titans. I would have to see maybe a few more formations. But either way, putting together a nice drive here against Young Kiv. 2nd and 2 at the 24. Clock approaching the 2-minute warning. Goes inside zone. And Gurley picking up probably about 9-10 right there. Down to the 14. So Drag having a lot of success running the ball against Kiv as well. He's been tearing him up with the inside zone. Picked up 8 yards on that draw play 2 plays ago. So, Drag just very multiple in offense. And like I said, unconventional offenses can sometimes work in your favor, Your opponent might not know what to expect. Your opponent certainly hasn't played against it as much as, something like a gun bunch, like a gun tight flex or gun tight offset tight end. Right here, looks like Drag going to go with the motion over. A pseudo little flat route, corner route combo on the left side, not open. Goes for the route bounce off the sideline. Kind of shaky right there. Actually, it was a playmaker. Very dangerous throw right there from Drag. I feel like he could have thrown this outside high point out here in the corner of that end zone. It looks like if you watch from the pre-snap action, looks like what Kiv did was he manned up. You can see this defender right here. So he mans up this defender. He's starting off pretty much across the formation. He's got a long way to go to get out there. I think Drag definitely could have squeezed in a high point to the back corner of the end zone. Like I said earlier, high points kind of hit or miss. It could have been a bad throw. He could have sailed it out the back of the end zone, but I think it was worth a shot right there. Instead, he goes with tries to thread the needle on the backside, playmaker, and almost gets it intercepted. So 2nd and 10. Kiv still in this 3-4. Looks like maybe PA shot post here from Drag, just judging by the pre-snap play art. Motion over again, so very difficult if you're Kiv. I'm trying to think if I'm Kiv what I'm expecting here, and honestly, I have no idea. Drag very good at mixing up his pre-snap adjustments in terms of, motioning over different receivers, putting them on different routes. So you just kind of have to be ready for anything right there. Drag with the nice throw to Cumberland in the seams. Kiv shoots to the flat, as you can see. Looks like Drag would have had anything open. Kiv got very aggressive here. Maybe thought Drag would, panic and instantly throw it to the flats, but that left this fade route, as well as it looks like he definitely had this crossing route open. So he really had to just pick which one he wanted. Ended up being a little bit of a closer play because Kiv's safety ended up cutting on that really quickly, but Drag ends up tying it up. So 7-7, minute 52 left. Kiv getting the ball, going to try and drive downfield, put some sort of points on the board before halftime here. So let's see what he wants to come out in here. It looks like gun doubles now. So Kiv doing a very good job of being very multiple on offense. I feel like he's probably come out in 7 or 8 different formations, making it tough for Drag to kind of get a read on as he's scrambling with Cam Newton, and he fumbles and Drag picks it up. So mistake by Kiv here. As you can see, instead of going out of bound, opts for the stiff arm with Cam Newton to try and fall forward and get a few more yards. Just a greedy play from Kiv, in my opinion. Just get out of bounds, even if you fall forward. I mean, that's the animation you're going to get. Say he doesn't fumble. Okay, you fall forward for another 1 or 2 yards. I just don't think it's worth the risk of fumbling, which is exactly what happened, as opposed to just getting out of bounds and, getting 1 or 2 less yards. So, greedy play from Kiv ends up in a turnover, and now Drag in prime position to try and take the lead here, as the dancing tacos are just all over the place. Drag getting a ton of followers throughout this stream. Congrats for him. So let's see, motion over right here, Herman Moore. Now, Drag has motioned over that receiver the past few times, and every time it does seem like he has been on a fade route. So if you are Kiv, I think you can kind of, I wouldn't say assume, but that's what I would be thinking. I would be thinking, okay, I would be defending against a fade route here. So and that's what it looks like he did, but it looked like he would have been beat, but Drag rather, checks it out the backfield. So right here, Kiv doesn't go super aggressive and use the flat, and Drag hits the flat for 15. But look at this right here. It definitely looks like Drag had a touchdown here to Herman Moore. It looks like Kiv's defender got roasted. Drag could have just lobbed that and probably had a walk-in touchdown. So missed opportunity from Drag, definitely something that he probably noticed, and it's something he could definitely keep in the back of his mind as the game goes on, to definitely keep an eye out for. So let's see, trips tight end, Moss motioned left to right, inside zone here. Kiv doing a good job. Something note now, Kiv no longer in 3-4. You can see the nickel setup now. So standard nickel setup, flipped, nickel back on the right. Linebacker shifted to the left, D-line pinched, baseline press. You're going to get, the dual edge pressure look. It could come off from both sides. It could come off neither. It could come off both. So, or it could come off just one. So, that's the popular, very meta defense right now. Probably the most popular defense in the game for pretty much the majority of the year. So, Kiv making the adjustment, getting out of that 3-4, and seeing if this nickel can kind of trip up Drag a little bit. So, 2nd and 11 here, motion over by Herman Moore. Block to pick up the pressure. I like it. Hits the backside underneath. Slant route to Randy Moss, or actually an in route. But nice combo right there. Des Bryant does a good job clearing out. You see Des Bryant pulls the zones deep, and Moss cuts in underneath. Nice, simple clear out concept on the backside of the play from Drag right there. And that pretty much puts him in field goal range at the 33. Pretty much every kicker is going to be able to make a 50-yard field goal. Drag play action's got the smoke screen wide open, and he hits him for the first down. So simple 3-man flood here from Drag. You go streak, corner, and smoke screen. So it's literally just an adaptation of the classic streak, corner, flat. Smoke screen, instead of being an out route or a flat route, it's a smoke screen route. And so a Drag makes the right read. Kiv only has one flat zone defender. Looks like a cloud flat, so he drops back. You hit the smoke screen and pick up the first down. So a great read right there from Drag. Looks like Gun snugs, flip, goes HP base, picks up 1. Gun trips tight into the right here. Now, interesting, this is the first time I think Drag's flipped it all game. So if you're Kiv, maybe, Drag, I would be thinking maybe Drag wants to run something, towards the sideline. He wants to go to the wide side of the field. That would be one reason. So that would be something I'd be on the lookout for, potentially. Right here, Drag goes motion over, blocks, and hits the drag route over the middle of the field, picks up 3. So, golly, Drag getting so many followers. Okay, goes back to the, I don't think he had the playmaker that. I think he could have, did he not call timeout, actually? He should have called timeout after this drag route right here. He's got 3 timeouts, and the clock's just running. I 100% think he should have called a timeout right there. He ends up letting the clock run. Right here, he goes back to the concept. He had the flat, he had the curl, I said curl flat. He had the smoke screen, same concept with the streak corner smoke screen. Just hit the smoke screen, turn around, you might be able to get out of bounds. He goes with the playmaker instead. He playmakers him back over the middle of the field. I mean, if anything, playmaker him there. Playmaker him to the corner. And, catch it, get upfield, get out of bounds. Questionable playmaker right there. Drag, I think, tunneled a little bit on that corner route, perhaps. And, Kiv's guy ends up coming up. Des Bryant, I think that was, or Herman Moore tried to make a nice spec catch, but not able to hold on to it. So, missed opportunity right there from Drag. Ends up kicking 3 and taking the lead anyway, but it was a missed opportunity in my opinion. So Drag up 3, gets the ball to start the second half here. Let's see what he's got. Oh, that's okay. So this is what I touched on earlier. Now, whenever Drag's been motioning over Herman more times than not, it's either been on PA boot shot, he snaps it when he's like right here so that he can block and pick up the pressure, or if he lets him finish and go all the way out here, usually he's got like some type of double fade route concept. And that's exactly what happens here. He lets him go all the way out. Looks like Drag definitely had the double streaks right there. Cumberland got caught up at the beginning, but you can see Cumberland streaking down the field. And Kiv actually goes super aggressive. I'm not sure what this defense was. I'm trying to see. It looks like he went with the corner blitz on this side. So it was probably corner blitz 3. He probably had a 3 deep shell, and it looks like he put both of his deep zones into hook zones. So this guy's definitely not playing a deep zone. This guy should be, these 3 guys should be dropping back like that. But instead, it looks like this guy's still in his deep zone, but it looks like this guy's just dropping back right here and dropping back right here, which lets Drag's outside receiver just, I mean, free touchdown, free walk-in down the sideline. So Kiv tried to get a little bit too fancy with the adjustments right there, and Drag makes him pay with the simple fade down the sideline for the touchdown. So Drag now up 10 really early in the second half. Kiv got to try and answer here. Now, he did have success that one drive. He marched down the field his first drive and scored a touchdown. Second drive, Cam Newton fumbles. So let's see what he can do here on the third drive. Drag pressure comes in off that right edge, or actually block shed, and Kiv has to throw it on the run away, rolling away from his throwing arm, so you can't really blame Cam Newton for making a bad throw right there. That's a tough one for anybody. So 2nd and 10, gun bunch to the right. Looks like corner strike, hits the table route out the backfield and picks up a yard there. So Drag definitely adjusting to Kiv's offensive game plan and, you know, flooding these outside cornerbacks who are tasked with guarding the flats. Right here, Kiv goes PA post shot, got to take off, and picks up 4 or 5. I think he should have took off a little bit earlier. But you see Drag, good awareness, knows where his user has to be. He knows he's got to drop back and user that deep crossing route. Kiv, no playmaker here, or at least a very late playmaker, and ends up picking up 4. So you got to wonder if Kiv's a little rattled right now. You know, down 10. I mean, I don't think he would be rattled, but that play right there kind of leads me to believe he might be not thinking super clearly. Gun bunch to the left right here. More tacos, man. So Kiv goes to the table route out the backfield. Corner strike here. I think it's kind of odd for Drag to just straight up not have a flat zone out there. Especially gun bunch. I mean, 4th and 5, you can definitely still throw flat routes. I mean, with the rat catch, you know, if a flat route's open, you're pretty much getting 5 yards. So just because it's 4th and 5 doesn't mean you don't defend the flats. Especially at a gun bunch, which Kiv has shown. I mean, basically 90% of the time he's running either corner strike or Z spot. I mean, he's run, I think, verticals once maybe. He ran that Titans bunch play once. But basically, you know, he's running corner strike, Z spot, and he's flooding those outside cornerbacks. So you got to be prepared for something like that. Right here, verticals, it goes with the cover 2 beater. Drag actually not in cover 2. Beautiful playmaker by Kiv. Absolutely beautiful. Drag, as you can see right here, covering the in route underneath. So first off, Kiv went with the cover 2 beater. Drag actually in a 3 deep shell. You can see the 3 deep defenders. Kiv blocked 7, went with the cover 2 beater, so he streaks, and then he had a wheel route up the sideline. If it was cover 2, that deep safety on the left would have ran with the streak, and the wheel would have got wide open. In this case, cover 3, it's not going to happen. Drag knows all he's got to do is user this backside in route, but then Kiv goes with the playmaker up the field, and then the pass lead, the awareness to make the great pass lead away from Drag's defender who's sitting in the middle right here, and away from Drag's user. Drag a little late recognizing it. As you can see, right now he recognizes it, but at this point it's way too late. And watch the pass lead from Kiv. Beautiful pass lead away from this defender right here. That's the guy he had to go away from. And his quarterback ends up making a great throw, and Dallas Clark ends up making a great catch. So that was actually great defense from Drag, but flawless offense from Kiv. Just nothing you can really do about that. So gun bunch left here for Kiv. Looks like he's going to go ahead and throw a flat route. pick up 5 there. So Z-spot, once again, attacking the flats. You know, flat route, corner route, definitely something Kiv loves to do. Corner strike here. He's got the C route, and he goes with the underneath drag route. So I think he kind of tunneled on the drag a little bit here maybe. He went with the same, you know, table route, C route, and he definitely had the C route right here. You can see drag has a hard flat, or it might have even been a man-to-man assignment on that tight end, but nobody in the vicinity to stop that C route. This is a deep zone. He's not going to stop it. So Kiv definitely could have thrown that C route right there. Goes with the drag route instead, who actually runs into the flat zone defender, and Odell can't hold on to it. So 3rd and 5 here. Gun bunch to the right. If you're drag, 3rd and 5, you still got to defend the flats. You still got to be looking out for corner striker Z-spot. 100%, I think. Now, Kiv went with the motion out here. Okay, motion back in. Okay, it's going to be some type of delayed. And decent read from Kiv. Actually, I don't mind that. Drag's defender actually played incredible defense here and stuck to that C route really well. That's pretty rare. I can't fault Kiv for that read, although I do think, I mean, I can't fault him for that read, actually. I can't fault him. He did have this guy right here open. He could have pass let it up. This defender right here, you might say, oh, this guy's in the vicinity, but this guy's shooting out here. He's not going to drop back and defend that drag route. He's going to keep shooting out to the running back on the table route. And then it also looks like Kiv had that, you know, motion delayed in route right here to Dallas Clark on the backside. But like I said, can't fault Kiv for that read. 99% of the time that C route's getting open against man-to-man coverage like that. And, you know, Drag's defender just made a great play. So 4th and 5. Now, last time it was 4th and 5, Kiv went with the table route out the backfield. So hopefully Drag caught on to that tendency and said, okay, I still have to have hard flat defenders out there in order to make a play. Right there, Kiv goes with the out route. So once again, you see the concept. It's Z-spot. You get out route, corner route, in route over the middle of the field. Looks like Drag actually had a cloud flat out there. Or actually, no. Yeah, okay, so he did. He had a cloud flat, but no hard flat. And Drag knew this. Great awareness by Drag, knowing the holes in your defense. Drag sees this, and knows he has to run out and guard the hard flat. This is basically the same exact concept he got beat on earlier on 4th and 5. And it's great to see Drag, you know, I mean, that's called adjusting. You know, seeing what you got beat with earlier and saying, you know, okay, fool me once, shame on you, or fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you, or whatever. However the saying goes, you know, that's that applies perfectly right here. It's fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. But I don't know why I just got tongue-tied right there. But basically, nice to see Drag adjusting, and we're gonna move on since I apparently forgot how to talk right there. So, gun trips tight end for Drag now in pretty much full control, up 10. He's been having a lot of success moving the ball on offense. Kiv has gone to this nickel, which has proven a little tougher for Drag as he gets a huge hit right there. But he's still been having decent success moving the ball. Obviously, first play of the second half, he hit Kiv with that bomb touchdown. So let's see if Drag can march down and score a touchdown here. Game's pretty much over. He'd be going up 3 possessions. And Kiv's offense, since that first drive, has been having a little bit of trouble with that fumble by Cam Newton and then the most recent drive that you guys just saw. So we got PA boot shot right here. Beautiful read. Goes to the in route and picks up 8 or 9 yards, it looked like. So 3rd and 2 here for Drag. Gun trips tight end. Nickel for Kiv still. Kiv still being very aggressive with these safeties. It's something, if I were Drag, I would definitely keep in mind. Right here, looks like he's going to go motion over Herman Moore. Looks like it could be something similar. Kiv, see, great adjustment from Kiv. You saw Drag adjust on 4th and 5. Now Kiv adjusts. Kiv said, okay, he beat me on this Herman Moore motion over fade before. Drag goes back to it on 3rd and 2, and you see Kiv immediately adjust his defense. Looks like he might have actually just straight up reset the defense. And Drag actually, was that a false start? Or, oh, it was a delay of game by Drag. So Drag actually maybe got caught slightly off guard about Kiv's shifting defense, and maybe that took his mind off the play clock for a split second. And, you know, now instead of a 3rd and 2, it's a 3rd and 7. So great adjustment right there, pre-snap from Kiv, showing that, you know, he is going to adjust to that motion over. Right here, it looks like Drag definitely has that. Why did he playmaker him? He's still okay. Still nice dot. Nice dot. Nothing against the dot, but I still feel like he could have hit the play. He could have hit the smoke screen and picked up the first down very safely. But Drag knows his plays much better than I know them, and I'm sure he knew that if he waited, he'd be able to hit that corner route down the sideline. So a great play right there from Drag. A beautiful dot puts him into field goal range, down to the 29-yard line here. So Randy Moss motion over, probably inside zone. Yep, so inside zone. Curly picks up 2, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So Drag definitely in the driver's seat here. Let's see what if Kiv's got to stand up and not let Drag get in the end zone. Gurley throws 2 guys off of him, picks up 5. So 3rd and 2 here for Drag. Gun trip side in to the right now. You've seen it a lot more to the left than to the right. Let's see, motion over Des Bryant, blocking to pick up the pressure. Kiv, good defense, everything locked up. Drag gonna have to throw the ball away, breaks a tackle, and gets down so that he doesn't fumble. So that's actually probably better for Drag than throwing the ball away, since now he gets to run off another 30 seconds. So unfortunate there for Kiv that Drag shook off that sack, and that could have been a fumble for Kiv. But great awareness by Drag there. I would have probably thrown the ball away. I mean, obviously I said throw the ball away. So great awareness from Drag, getting down and running another 30 seconds off that play clock. So 2:51, Kiv down 13. Definitely gonna have to make some magic happen here in order to win this game. Gonna have to score quick, or he's gonna have to score and probably get an onside kick. So Kiv going, audibling, looking like gun wide trips here to the right, play action. Looks like PA post cross shot, goes with the underneath route to Odell Beckham. Nice read. Drag knows he's got to sink back to user the deep cross, and Kiv makes him pay by hitting Odell underneath, picking up 11, 1st and 10. Kiv going, gun tight flex, hits the underneath route to Dallas Clark. And that's another thing that's so great about this play. I mean, every single time Kiv has run this play, Drag knows he's got to run back and user this route. And so being able to dictate where your opponent's user has to go just opens up the field in so many ways. So Kiv, knowing that Drag's user has to sink back to stop that deep crossing route, it opens up that underneath in route by Dallas Clark just super well, and he ends up picking up 8 yards right there. So 2nd and 2, gun wide flex, or gun tight flex rather, for Kiv still. Underneath route right there. And looks like Kiv definitely going to stick with this PA post shot play and force Drag to either figure out how to defend that deep crossing route non-manually, or he's just going to keep punishing him underneath. Right here he goes back to wide trips, PA post cross shot once again, and Drag gets the pressure there. So super wide blitz angle right there from Drag. Corner blitz 3 comes off the right edge, and Kiv just not enough time. Tries to throw it. I don't know where he was actually throwing the ball. I feel like anywhere he threw it right here was probably an interception. And so might be fortunate that he got sacked right there, but that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So Kiv definitely going to need some magic here. Gun tight flex once again. Probably going to be PA post shot. And it is hit the underneath route once again. And it would appear Drag's content with giving that up. Eifert drops the ball, and Kiv gets it back. Jeesh. But I think he was down anyway. It looked like Eifert was down right here. Yeah, I think he was down. But you see the theme, right? You see, I mean, that's 3rd or 4th time this drive. It seems like Drag's okay with that right now because, I mean, Kiv's on a clock, obviously. 1:50. He's got to score 2 touchdowns here to get back in the game. And Drag's more than okay with that right there. Kiv goes with the bench concept. First time you see it all game. Great mix-up here. He's been running nothing but PA post shot. So right here, corner, flat, corner. Throw it to whichever one Drag doesn't user. Drag shoots out to the left. You throw it to the right. And, that's just textbook from Young Kiv right there. Tough. One of the reasons why, gun type flex is such a good formation, because you have to worry about a play like that as well as a play like, PA post shot. So trips right for Kiv here. Play action. Go into the out route to Dallas Clark. Get 8 yards. Get out of bounds. So 2nd and 2. Gun bunch going into gun type flex. Now, if it's gun type flex, well, let's see. So comes out in gun bunch. Now, he could have come out in gun type flex initially. Now, going to gun type flex, the quick audibles, you got to know the quick audibles, gun type flex. It's bench, PA post cross shot, or PA post shot, HB draw, and I think stick. Now, Kiv could have come out in gun type flex, and then audibled to gun bunch as soon as he broke the huddle, and then just come back to gun type flex. So if you're Drag, I'd be expecting either scenario, because if the second scenario is what Kiv did, then Kiv could audible back to a play that's not a quick audible. So it's a good way to mind game your opponent. Your opponent thinks, oh, he just audibled to this formation, he's got to be running one of the quick audibles, but that's not the case if you came out in a play in that formation and just audibled as soon as you got out the huddle, so your opponent doesn't know what formation you came out in, if that makes sense. So if you're Drag, you got to be aware for anything. I would be expecting, you know, maybe this concept again. Maybe something like this. That's probably would be the number one thing I'd be looking for here, and that's exactly what it was on the left side. On the right side, he goes with the flat route. It looked like he had a touchdown right here. It looked like he could have thrown this right here. Low pass lead, probably squeezed it in and scored a touchdown. Missed opportunity right there for Kiv, but that was still a good read. Table route out the backfield to the right. Looks like double spot was the play call. And that's not a quick audible. So that's exactly what Kiv did. Kiv came out gun type flex, immediately audible to gun bunch, and then audibled back to his original play in gun type flex. So there was really no way Drag could expect this play to be coming from Kiv. So that's just a tip for you guys. As you see right there, previous play, double spot. That's a tip. You could definitely mind game your opponent and put them in a mental pretzel. So 3rd and 2 here. Kiv got to make something happen. HB draw. What a play call. And Zeke almost gets in, gets down to the 1. Kiv going to have to punch it in really quick here, and he does. So he still has all 3 timeouts, so he can kick it deep and try and stop Drag, make him go 3 and out, get the ball back, and try and make something happen here. So gun trips tight end for Drag. Pretty much a first down almost seals the game. So Drag going to go super aggressive. Oh, no. He throws a pick to Kiv. Oh, wow. Okay, so he goes for the X spot, it looks like. He went with the bench concept. So makeshift bench concept here on the left side from Drag. Corner route and then out route. And Kiv just sees it the entire time. Kiv underneath, super aggressive. You can see him already sprinting to the out route. It looks like he's got plenty of cushion, but Kiv's user just able to make up in the time that Drag's receiver has to spend, you know, chopping his feet to cut. Kiv's guy able to make up that distance. Kiv doing a great job. Notice how he didn't run straight to the defender. Notice his angle. Notice how he's undercutting the ball. He's not running straight to the receiver to make a tackle. He knows that he can undercut and make a play on the ball, not just on the receiver. Beautiful angle, beautiful recognition from Kiv. And, you know, that's a play that you can't do anything but, you know, appreciate. I mean, that's a play that, you know, a guy who's probably a top 10 player in the world, that's just a play that he's going to make sometimes, and it's an amazing play, and there's not much you can do about it, you know. So great play by Kiv right there to put himself right back in the game. Now 3 timeouts down 6. Single back deuce close. Drag sends the heavy heat off the right edge and gets in there. Definitely had everything locked up for Kiv, at least immediately. If Kiv had more time, it looks like Drag did have a hard flat out here, so this corner route for Kiv would have got open, but Drag got the pressure in there, so great defense from him. So single back deuce close once again. Now this is a formation you haven't seen Kiv run really since the first quarter, so interesting that he's back out in it. Oh, that looked like a missed opportunity. It definitely looks like he had this corner route open. Looks like Drag had a guy manned up on him, but he obviously right here wasn't quite keeping up with him. Looks like Kiv could have had an outside pass lead away from that safety and cut the ball off, but instead decides to play it safe, goes with the check down underneath. That actually might have been a touchdown. Maybe it was a wrong button input from Kiv. I'm not sure. But either way, Clark does end up catching the ball, picking up 9 yards, so still not awful. Or that was Tyler Eifert, rather. But not awful, but possibly missed opportunity there from Kiv. Down 6, clock still running, all 3 timeouts, gun bunch to the right. If you're Drag, I'd be looking for a corner striker Z-spot here. And he goes with the corner route out of Z-spot. So great play right here from Kiv. I mean, you see it. You've seen it all game. Flat route, corner route. Drag has the hard flat. Looks like Drag trying to user the corner route and just a little bit too far underneath. Kiv recognizes it, makes a good pass lead, and drags his feet. So Kiv at the 7-yard line, 19 seconds left. Drag really got to step up here defensively. Kiv single back deuce close, like I talked about earlier. This is a great red zone formation. You really have to be careful if you're drag. I mean, Kiv's got all 3 timeouts, so you can definitely still run the ball. You still have to watch out for HB Wham. You have to worry about, like Kiv scored on earlier in the game. He scored on, these corner routes right here. Or it was actually to his receivers, I believe, not the tight ends. But he scored on those corner routes. You have to worry about, PA misdirection, I believe is the play. Has a post route. So you have to worry about a lot of different high points. Even tight end angle. Even, this backside tight end angle route can be a decent little high point route. So a lot of things you have to worry about if you're drag right here. Right here, HB stretch. Kiv goes, cuts it up, and picks up 3 yards. Drag calling a timeout. I don't know about that. You're not going to have enough time. I mean, there's 15 seconds left. Why are you calling timeout? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, even if Kiv were to score on this play, say it takes him 3 seconds to score, so that's 12 seconds. Kiv kicks the ball off the drag, say 3 seconds on the kick return. So you've got, 9 seconds left, which is basically 2 plays. I don't know. I don't really see the point, but I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Single back deuce close again. HB stretch for Kiv, and he's got the corner, and he's going to score a touchdown. So Kiv's guys hold his block. Eifert does a great job right here. This is the guy who usually you would see get block shedded, this tight end, but Eifert does a fantastic job of holding that block. Drag's guy shoots the gap right here rather than going around. Either way, I mean, actually, it would have been better if he went around, right? Because, well, actually, how did that happen? Let's take a look at this. So, it was a block shed. Okay, so he block shedded Odell Beckham. He block shed him to the inside, so that's kind of unfortunate for drag. If he would have block shed to the outside, he'd be out here. Kiv would have to cut it up, which is obviously what you want to do as a defense. You want him to have to cut it up and be funneled back inside, but Kiv's guy gets the corner, so now drag down 1 with 11 seconds, and like I said, okay, so 6 seconds left. So he called a timeout. It's got 6 seconds left. Basically, I mean, that's 1 play, maybe 2. Looks like it's just going to be 1 here. And basically, it's just a Hail Mary swerve attempt. I mean, that's really all you got right now. Kiv's guy gets a block shed, and it only ends up taking 3 seconds off. So drag 1 more play. Last chance to dance right here for drag. Gonna go cute little concept right there with the comeback. He went for the cover 3 beater. He went with the comeback on this side and then a deep cross right there. But, just too much field. Kiv's guy's too far back for that concept to be effective right here. And at this point, he's basically screwed. There's nothing he can do. He's just got to throw it up. His only chance was a Hail Mary swerve. But that's going to be the game. So Kiv ends up winning 21-20. What a game. That was insane. What a game to break down. That was a lot of fun to watch and to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any particular games you guys want to see. Let me know what I can do better and how I can make these videos better for you guys. Always trying to get better. But like I said earlier, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, guys, take it easy.